Welcome to Kern 9000's Horror House.
So I'm here to talk about a Bela Lugosi film. No, it's not Dracula. This one is called Invisible Ghost. Okay, so I want to go off on a slight tangent right now and just make a few quick comments that kind of apply to all of these old black and white horror films, and in fact some of the colour ones, even up to and including the Hammer ones. A lot of these films have what I would call very quick resolutions, or put another way, endings which don't hang around to give you any extra details or prologues. For example, in the monster type movie, the monster dies, the hero turns to walk away, and the words "the end" flash up on screen, and you don't get to find out what anyone does after or how the death of this creature affects the world around it. You just get to know it's dead and that's your lot. Is this a good or bad thing? I'm really not sure. I guess it just feels very strange watching something like this after watching something more modern, which seems to slowly end, wrapping up thread after thread, trying to leave you without much to ask or think about. Also, some of these older films, like these Lugosi ones, well, they're quite brief, with run times being just a little over an hour, but I guess it gives them a certain sense of tightness. There's less filler, but then it has downsides. You're less invested in side characters, for example. Charles Kessler, Bela Lugosi's character in this film, is a man whose wife left him. She left him for someone else, and it's believed she's dead, and yet he sits down to dinner with his wife on their wedding anniversary. She's not there, of course, but he acts as if she is, and his butler humours him and tries to act as if the wife is really there. His daughter, Virginia's boyfriend, arrives and witnesses some of what is going on, leaving her having to explain everything to him. You soon learn that the wife is not dead, she's an amnesiac being taken care of by the gardener. She's being kept in his basement, but occasionally she goes for a bit of a walk, usually ending up around outside her former home, looking through the windows, looking at her husband, Charles Kessler. What you are met with in this film is lots of death, person after person being killed. Now, in most films you wouldn't know who is responsible, but this film actually tells you straight away who has done it. Well, worse than that, you see the murders, and yet you have to sit around and watch as person after person ponders who is responsible for the killings. I really can't help but think that this film would have worked much better if it had been filmed more as a whodunit. A lot of the characters feel kinda empty and cookie-cutter-like, with a few notable exceptions, one of them being Lugosi, who gives a charming performance. The other would be the butler, who I find to be an incredibly likeable character, who is well acted and who often acts in the way I think most people wish they would. I could go into more detail, but other than setting the rough scene, I'd rather let people watch this and get a feel for if they'd like to watch the film or not, rather than spoil the whole thing by talking about the beginning, the middle and the end. The film is no Dracula, and I feel like it could have been a lot better, but if you want to find a good way to spend a little over an hour, it's not a bad watch at all. Apparently a lot of the copies of it on DVD are in pretty poor condition, mostly due to the fact that the film has found itself in the public domain, meaning any company can pretty much throw it onto a disc and sell it. The copy I have is not exactly the greatest print, but it doesn't matter. The film is from the 30s, and I find the little bits of degradation and frame skipping almost charming. I much prefer it to the idea of an artificially cleaned up film. I'd recommend that you watch this film, but you go in with moderate expectations. It's a particularly good film if you've seen Dracula and you respected Bela Lugosi's acting work and wanted to see some more of him. Okay, that's Kern 9000 signing off, saying keep on watching those films, boys and ghouls.